A recent report released on Friday highlights a significant increase in the number of non-detained undocumented immigrants during the Biden administration, coinciding with a pressing crisis at the southern border. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE) report for the fiscal year 2023 reveals a noteworthy surge, with the non-detained docket rising from 3.7 million in FY 2021 to almost 4.8 million in FY 2022, and further escalating to nearly 6.2 million in FY 2023. This docket includes individuals with final removal orders or those undergoing removal proceedings but are not in ICE custody. Simultaneously, the detained docket has seen an escalation from 22,000 to over 36,000 within the same timeframe. Although the report indicates an increase in deportations, totaling 142,580 in FY 23, a substantial rise from 72,177 in FY 22 and 59,011 in FY 21, it still represents a fraction compared to the growth in the undocumented immigrant population. Notably, this figure is below the peak of 267,258 during the Trump administration in FY 19. The report acknowledges that the 142,580 removals do not encompass over 60,000 Title 42 expulsions in FY 23, affecting individuals who might have otherwise faced deportation. The context of this data coincides with a record-breaking 2.4 million migrant apprehensions at the southern border, with approximately 5,000 undocumented immigrants being released into the U.S. daily. Administrative ICE arrests have surged by 19.5% to 170,590 in FY 23, including the apprehension of 73,822 undocumented immigrants with a criminal history. Acting ICE Director Patrick Lake-Leitner emphasized the agency's commitment to disrupting transnational criminal organizations, removing threats to national security and public safety, and upholding U.S. immigration laws. Lake-Leitner expressed pride in the dedicated workforce of over 20,000 individuals actively pursuing these objectives. In 2021, the Biden administration significantly narrowed ICE enforcement priorities, focusing on recent border crossers, national security threats, or public safety threats. This shift followed initial attempts to impose a moratorium on all ICE deportations, a move thwarted by a federal judge. While the administration argues these narrowed priorities are a response to limited ICE resources, critics, especially Republicans, contend that it aligns with an open borders agenda. Notably, the report reveals a stark decrease in the removal of unaccompanied minors, with only 212 removed in FY 23 compared to over 6,000 in FY 19. Conversely, there has been a substantial increase in the deportation of known or suspected terrorists, reaching 139 in FY 23, surpassing the numbers from the Trump administration. Despite these figures, Republican critics remain unsatisfied, pointing to the high number of migrants released into the U.S. and asserting insufficient efforts to curb their influx or facilitate deportations. Calls for Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas' impeachment and legal challenges against the narrowed ICE priorities by Republican states underscore the contentious nature of this issue. The White House has proposed an additional $14 billion in border funding, including more ICE detention beds and immigration judges. However, this has encountered resistance from Republicans demanding stricter asylum limits and changes to the administration's use of humanitarian parole. Talks about a potential agreement, including a Title 42-style removal authority and enhanced detention and removals, are ongoing, though uncertainty lingers over whether such an agreement can secure bipartisan support in Congress.